Hello and welcome everyone to the Polity Primer series of Drishti IAS. My name is Pragya and today we are going to discuss a very important topic that forms the backbone of the violence that is happening in the state of Manipur. The title of our today's discussion is Constitutional Status of the Autonomous District Councils or the ADCs. In this discussion we are going to study about what are ADCs. We'll also see how was it adopted in our Indian constitution. We are also going to see what are Manipur's hill councils. We are also going to analyze what is the difference in Manipur's ADCs and the 6th schedule ADCs. We are also going to see a comparative analysis between the 5th and the 6th schedule of our Indian constitution. And in the end, we are going to see a practice question for your prelims examination and a practice question for your mains examination. Now let us understand the background of our today's discussion. So to end the violence that is happening in the state of Manipur and to placate the cookies, the state government of Manipur has written to the central government of Manipur that the ADCs which are functioning in the state of Manipur should be granted more autonomy. Although we don't know the status of this demand as of now, but let us understand that what are these ADCs and why are they in news? What is the constitutional history behind them? What is the constitutional provisions regarding them? And how are ADCs in Manipur differ from the ADCs in the 6th schedule of our Indian constitution? So with this, now let us understand what are ADCs. So if I talk about the constitution of autonomous district councils, the 6th schedule of our Indian constitution has designated 10 areas, 10 tribal areas as autonomous districts in the states of Assam, Mizoram, Meghalaya and Tripura. So these 10 hilly areas have been granted status of autonomous district and they are governed by the autonomous district councils. So what are these ADCs? It is a body representing these hilly areas and they have been granted varying autonomy under our Indian constitution. So if we talk about the past, colonial past or the history of the constitution of the ADCs, it started when the Britishers wanted to govern the erstwhile Assam. So when they wanted to govern Assam, they were faced with a very unique problem. The Britishers wanted that the provincial and the federal laws should apply on the state of Assam, but they faced a ferocious resistance from the tribals in the Assam. And to avoid direct confrontation, as they were interested only in the economic exploitation of the region, they divided the hilly areas of the Assam in two parts, that is the partly excluded part and the excluded part. So the Britishers didn't want to attract any kind of confrontation with the tribal people. So under the Government of India Act 1935, they divided the hill regions in Assam into two parts. So what happened was that on these hill regions, the provincial or the federal law did not automatically apply until and unless the governor felt the need to apply them for maintaining the peace and security in the area and for developing the areas. So this was the history of behind the constitution of the ADCs. So what happened when we got independence, that these provisions of the Government of India Act was adopted with improvements into the 6th schedule of the constitution. Kindly remember, 6th schedule deals with the administration of these areas in these states, in these northeastern states of Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. And it was based on the recommendations made by a committee under the then Assam Premier Gopinath Bordoloi. So the Gopinath Bordoloi committee suggested the formation of 6 ADCs in Assam. Not only this, it also suggested the formation of regional ADCs within these 6 ADCs. So The examples of these ADCs are the Garo Khasi Jayantia ADCs, the Bodoland Territorial Councils, and currently there are 10 ADCs in the 6th schedule. In the 6th schedule of our Indian Constitution. So what happened after this was some of these hilly areas became states. So some of these hill districts later became states, such as the Khasi and Garo districts became Meghalaya, Naga Hills district became Nagaland, while Lushai Hills became Mizoram, and the existing ADCs which were formed at that time were either subsumed, were renamed, or new ones were created. And Tripura was added to this list of ADCs as later as in 1986. And the 6th schedule was adopted under Article 244 of our Indian Constitution, which talks about the administration of scheduled and tribal areas. Administration of scheduled areas and tribal areas. Scheduled areas and tribal areas. So Article 244 of our Indian Constitution talks about administering the scheduled areas or the tribal areas. With the provisions for formation of autonomous administrative divisions within the state. This is important that these autonomous divisions are formed within the states, and that is why they have certain varying degree of autonomy which is guaranteed to them by our Indian Constitution itself. So these divisions also have autonomy in respect with legislative, judicial and administrative decisions within the state, and that is why they are created within the state, and hence we can conclude that they have a varying degree of autonomy within the state legislature which is guaranteed to them by our Indian Constitution. Now let us discuss the composition of these autonomous district councils. So if we talk about the composition of these autonomous district councils, they have 30 members with a term of 5 years. They can make rules, laws and regulations on various subjects such as agriculture, such as protection of land, such as maintaining their resources, and on certain personal matters as well, such as marriage, divorce, etc. So on all of these subjects, they can make the laws, rules and regulations. They are empowered to do so. However, there is an exception if we talk about the composition of these ADCs, and it is the Bodoland Territorial Council. So, the exception is the Bodoland Territorial Council in Assam. It has more than 40 members and can make laws on 39 subjects. And ADCs also have power to form courts to hear cases where both parties are member of the scheduled tribes, and the maximum sentence is less than 5 years in prison. So I was explaining this before also, that ADCs have a certain degree of autonomy within the state legislature, and this is granted to them by our Indian Constitution. So when the time and the need arises, it can also behave like a court, but the condition is the member should be of scheduled tribe and the punishment or the imprisonment should not be more than 5 years. So in these cases, the ADCs can also act like courts. Now let us understand how are Manipur's hill councils different from the 6th schedule ADCs and why there is a controversy with them. So if we talk about the Manipur's hill councils, they are very different from the 6th schedule ADCs, and we'll analyze this in our further slides. So the tribal people of the Manipur have long agitated that they want inclusion in the 6th schedule of our Indian Constitution. But the hill councils which are created in the Manipur are very different from the 6th schedule. So to create these hill councils, the parliament has enacted a legislation known as the Manipur Hill Areas District Council Act 1971, which has paved the way for creation of ADCs in Manipur's hill areas. So the Manipur hill areas were never included in the 6th schedule. The demand for separate administration arose as late as in 1960s, and they were so agitated, the tribal people of the Manipur were so agitated by the creation of ADCs from an act by a parliament that they did not participated in the ADC's elections from 1990 to 2010. So they were so agitated by the creation of these ADCs through an act of the parliament, as they wanted themselves to be included in the 6th schedule of the Indian constitution. We'll see when we analyze that how are they different from 6th schedule ADCs, we'll see why the tribals are demanding that they should be included in the 6th schedule of our Indian constitution. So these regions constituted 90% of its geographical areas inhabited by tribes such as Nagas, Kukis, Omis, Hamras, etc. And at that time, Manipur was a union territory. It was not a state. It became a state as late as in 1972. So Manipur at that time, when this act was passed to create the hill councils in Manipur, was a union territory and it was not a state. So let us analyze the composition of the Manipur's hill councils. The councils are to have not more than 18 members who are to be elected. Kindly note this word elected. And that is why I am saying that the tribals were so agitated that they did not participate in the elections for 2 decades. That is from 1990 to 2010. That means the ADCs or the hill councils in Manipur were inefficient for 2 decades. Powers include taxation, maintenance of property, allotment of land, management of forest, regulation of cultivation, etc. And they also have a certain degree of legislative authorities, such as on the concepts of marriage, inheritance and other local and social customs. So, though they have been given power, but the tribals of the Manipur hilly areas wanted an inclusion in the 6th schedule of our Indian constitution. So now let us try to understand by chalking out a difference between these ADCs and the 6th schedule of our Indian constitution, that why are the people of Manipur not happy with the ADCs which have been constituted by an act of the parliament. So if we talk about the Manipur's ADCs, they are dependent on the state assembly due to the provisions of the act. So they cannot function independently. We are saying that autonomous district councils have a certain degree of autonomy within the state legislature. So this is not the case with Manipur's ADCs. They have to function beneath the or under the state legislative assemblies in Manipur due to the provisions of the act. And if we talk about the 6th schedule ADCs, they derive from the powers from the 6th schedule and they are definitely more independent as they have a certain degree of autonomy granted by our Indian constitution within the state legislature, as I have explained this before. Then legislative powers are limited to personal matters. So when we were discussing the legislative powers of the Manipur ADCs, we have seen that the power is limited only on the topics of marriage, inheritance, social customs and appointment of chiefs. But this is not the case with the 6th schedule ADCs. They have wide legislative powers. In fact, if they make laws, they will be considered by the governor. But if we talk about the laws made by the Manipur ADCs, they have to route them through hill areas committees comprising MLAs from the hills and present it to the state assembly. So this is a major difference between Manipur's ADCs and the 6th schedule ADCs, that they are completely dependent on the state government, while the 6th schedule ADCs enjoy a certain degree of autonomy. Then they are dependent on the government for financial devolution. So for any institution to function, you need finances, right? And who is giving the finances to the Manipur Hill Council or the ADCs? The state government itself. And that is why the state government is saying that you should give more power to the Manipur's ADCs. But this is not the case with the 6th schedule ADCs. They get central grants to the state. So the grants are given by the central government, though it is given through the state, but the grants are given through the central government and not the state government. Then Manipur ADCs are subservient to the deputy commissioner who is appointed by the state government. And this deputy commissioner is so powerful that it can even dissolve the Manipur's ADCs. If he feels that their administration is not going right or they are not able to function properly, he just needs the assent of the governor and he can dissolve the Manipur's ADCs. But this is not the case in the 6th schedule. They enjoy greater autonomy and they cannot be dissolved this easily. So that is why I was reiterating that the tribals of the Manipur wanted an inclusion in the 6th schedule of our Indian constitution rather than having an ADC created by a law passed by the parliament, and this remains the focal point of issue in the case of violence that is happening in the state of Manipur. Now let us understand the difference between the 5th schedule of our Indian constitution and the 6th schedule of our Indian constitution, in which many of the students get confused. So the 5th schedule of our Indian constitution deals with the control over scheduled areas throughout India, excluding the northeastern states. So the jurisdiction of the 5th schedule of our Indian constitution lies on the throughout the territory of India, but it excludes the northeastern states. Why? Because they are governed through 6th schedule. It covers the scheduled areas excluded in the 5th schedule. So we were discussing this before also in the our lecture, that the 6th schedule governs the tribal areas, 10 tribal areas, which has been declared as an autonomous district in the 4 states of Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram and Tripura. If we talk about the 5th schedule, in the scheduled areas which come under the 5th schedule, it is the governor of the state that has special powers and responsibilities when it comes to the protection of the tribal population. So, the 5th schedule, the administration in the 5th schedule is dependent on the governor. But this is not the case with the 6th schedule. In the case of 6th schedule, the autonomous district councils are have a certain degree of autonomy, and the governor and the state government have limited powers over them. Then, in the case of areas under the 5th schedule, the autonomy of making a decision for the good relies upon the local government or the governor. So, the 5th schedule talks about the creation of tribal advisory councils, which are very different from the ADCs that are created under the 6th schedule. And these tribal advisory councils are completely dependent on the state government for doing good to the tribal population of the state throughout the territory of India, barring the northeastern states. If we talk about the 6th schedule, in the case of the 6th schedule, covering areas excluded in the 5th schedule are more autonomous, as the local government and the governors have lesser powers. So, this is the difference in the degree of autonomy of the tribal advisory councils that are created under the 5th schedule and the ADCs which are created under the 6th schedule. So, to summarize, 6th schedule governs the 10 districts of the 4 states, and the 5th schedule applies on the throughout the territory of India, tribal population throughout the territory of India, barring the areas which are governed by the 6th schedule. If we talk about the 5th schedule, they are completely dependent on the state government. If we talk about the ADCs of the 6th schedule, they are not dependent on the government. They have a certain degree of autonomy which is granted to them by our Indian constitution itself. And in the case of 5th schedule, for taking any good decision for the protection of tribal people, they are dependent on the governor, while it is not the case in the 6th schedule. So, this is the major difference between the 5th schedule of our Indian constitution and 6th schedule of our Indian constitution. With this, we come to a conclusion of our today's discussion. We have seen the creation of ADCs. We have seen their colonial past or history. We have seen how are Manipur's ADCs different from the 6th schedule ADCs, and why the people are demanding the inclusion in the 6th schedule. We have also analyzed the difference between 5th schedule of our Indian constitution and the 6th schedule of our Indian constitution. So, currently what the government is saying that the Manipur's council are completely ineffective. Rather, the tribal people want more power in their hands so as to protect their tribal identities, so as to manage their resources well, and so as to have a self-governance in place, which happens in the case of the 6th schedule ADCs. And this forms a focal point of violence that is happening in the state of Manipur. Now, let us see a practice question for your prelims examination. So, the question is, consider the following statements with respect to district council and autonomous districts constituted under the 6th schedule. Your statement number 1 is, the parliament is empowered to increase or decrease any autonomous district area. Your statement number 2 is, all the members of district councils are elected on the basis of adult franchise. Your statement number 3 is the district councils are empowered to collect land revenue and make regulations for the control of money lending by the non-tribals. Which of the following statements are correct? Kindly drop your answer in the comment box below. Your options are: option A is 3 only, option B is 1 and 2 only, option C is 2 and 3 only, and option D is 1 and 3 only. So kindly drop your answer in the comment box below. Now let us discuss a practice question for your mains examination. The dilution of the powers of the ADCs is the reason for the ethno-nationalist identity issues in the northeastern states. Examine. So, in the introduction, you will write what is happening, like what are ADCs, what is its past, and then in the body you will mention about the Manipur Hill Council and how are they different from the 6th schedule ADCs. You will also mention that why are they demanding a inclusion in the 6th schedule by chalking out the differences. Then you will write that obviously these ADCs need more power in their hands because the parliament, by enacting Article 12A, has almost diluted the power of ADCs. Article 12A states that if there is a law made by the ADCs, the parliament, if the parliament or the state legislature enacts a law on the same subject, then the law made by the parliament or the state legislature will prevail over the law made by the ADCs. And this has led in the effective dilution of the legislative power of the ADCs. So you can conclude that definitely to solve all of the identity crisis of the tribal people, more power is needed to be given in the hands of the ADCs. I hope this session was insightful for you. If you have any feedback regarding this session, kindly drop in the comment box below. Thank you.